All right, we get it. You want to make your car fast, but you're just like me and broke, have $0 in your wallet. In today's video, we're going to talk about how you can make your car faster with $0. I've always been super curious, how much does my car weigh? Because power to weight ratio is so underestimated. Today, what we're gonna be doing is weighing my 2014 Shelby GT500 right behind me with all the upgrades that we did. We're gonna see how much the car weighs and how much weight we could cut out of it to make it even quicker. Because we all know that we wanna go fast every single time. So let's get right into it. Look at this bad boy that found its way into the garage here next to Beverly. We got Driven Projects Performante. This thing is insane. The forged carbon fiber, the wrap. My favorite part is the forged carbon fiber though, to be completely honest. This thing pretty sick. Go ahead and check out Driven Project. They're doing a pretty awesome startup here, providing supercar therapy to children's hospitals. Very good cause. Go ahead and check them out. I'll go ahead and see if we could get a cool start. This thing looks wicked. Cannot wait to own me a Lamborghini one of these days. That's definitely the next car after the Shelby. All right, let's do a full review on my 2014 Shelby GT500, all of the add-ons that I've done from it being stock. So getting started with the actual motor, we have forged internals, which weigh a little bit more than the stock internals that may not be forged, like the rods, the pistons, the crankshaft. On top of the motor, we do have the 3.6 liter Mammoth Kenny Bell supercharger with all the big options. So it has an upgraded intercooler, upgraded throttle body, upgraded filter, and all that goodies. On the side here, we do have the wide body here, which is 1 inch wider on the front, but it is made out of fiberglass, so it is a lighter material. I'm very curious, even though it's wider, even though it's bigger, it's a lighter material. Does that offset? We're gonna figure out today here. And then on top of this, we have the Cervini's Cowl 4-inch hood. Again, fiberglass, but bigger in size. So is that going to offset the weight? We're going to go ahead and see here just in a few moments. But in the wheel setup, we have 20 by 10 Shelby American Super Snake wheels. These are made by World Racing, so they're supposed to be super light, bigger yet lighter, so it's going to offset those stock 18 by 10s that normally come on these Shelby GT500s. Moving on to the rear, we have the World Racing 17 by 10 drag wheels with the Mickey Thompson ET Street R's. So smaller wheel, lighter compound, but bigger tire. Again, so many different variables. I don't know where this weight stands. We're gonna have to figure that out very shortly. In the rear, the only thing I could think of is the exhaust system. The exhaust system is completely swapped out. We have the American Racing long tube headers, the X-Pipe, and the Ford Racing mufflers. In my opinion, the stock system with the catalytic converters, with the bigger mufflers and the more compounds to make the car quieter, it weighs a little bit more. So we're gonna see if the exhaust has any factors as well. Everything here is stock, like the wing, the taillights, and all that. But inside we do have the Shaker 1000 system, which comes stock on these GT500s. This adds a lot of weight. And then the stock tire. I don't normally run the stock tire, but I wanted to get the closest stock weight as I possibly could. So I just threw it in there to get that, as though we were just coming out of the factory from Shelby American. And then as mentioned previously, we have the wide body in the rear, which is sticks out 3 inches wider, 6 inches in total. Again, they cut this full panel out from stock and then molded on the fiberglass. So cut the weight, but then added weight, again, with a very light compound, which is the fiberglass. Let's go ahead and make our way into the actual cockpit here. As you guys know, full carbon fiber swap here with the Recaro racing seats and the rear leather seats as well. So that's pretty much all of the weight that we have here on my 2014 Shelby GT500. So there's just so many different modifications. I'm very curious to see how much all of this added, lost with the modifications. This car is pretty much done. We're going to take it to the scales. We're going to see how much it actually weighs. And then from there, we could plan on making this thing even faster. Put your comments down below in the comment section how much you think this car weighs. Will is also going to be weighing his 2014 Roush. Again, we all know I make 1003 rear horsepower. Then we're going to go ahead and see exactly how that all matches up. So that is what we'll be doing. I'll get you guys on the scales. According to CJ Pony Parts, they have the curb weights for every single make, model, and year ever since the first gen. But 2014 GT500 Coupe weighs 3,850 pounds, completely bone stock. But there are different trims, so it can vary because there is the glass roof option, there's the premium package with the suspension, so it is going to vary. But we'll just say on average 3,850 pounds. And we're close to a full tank of gas. It's not quite 100% full, but it's up there. We just arrived here to the cat scale. Essentially, we just drive right up and get her all weighed. Driving up to the scale, we'll see how much it weighs. Well, there you have it. 4,000 pounds, essentially, this car weighs. She is just way too heavy. That is with a full tank of gas, full interior, stereo, the spare tire. That is insane. I had no idea that the car weighed this much. It is unacceptable. We need to bring this down to at least 3,800 pounds. Let's see if we could go ahead and scrape off a lot of this weight and make her a lot lighter, because again, 4,000 pounds, that is a heavy, heavy girl. My roommate Will also weighed his V6 Roush Mustang. I'm very curious to see the weight he had. What was the weight?
You got a guess?
37.
That's pretty close.
30, what is that? 35. Oh, dude, that's pretty light.
Yeah.
3580. Nice, not too bad. We are back home, and here are the final results. Basically 4,000 pounds, and we haven't really weighed myself as a driver, so let's go ahead and get that. 165. So what we're going to do is add up 390 plus 165. Let me go ahead and do that math. So with me as a driver, the total weight of this car is 4,145 pounds. That is way too much to be weighing me down with all the horsepower. So let's go ahead and cut the slack and see how low we could get this number. Now that I think about it, this is a pretty sick garage. Lamborghini, Shelby. I will own a Lamborghini one day, and it's gonna be a day coming very, very soon, but this is a pretty cool lineup right here. All right, the first thing we took out is the spare tire. Let's go ahead and see how much this tire weighs. All right, just the spare tire, we're looking at 40 pounds. All right, now we're gonna minus 40 pounds. The next thing we're gonna remove is this Shaker 1000 stereo system. Let me go ahead and just unbolt it. The speaker weighs about 15.5 pounds. That pretty much does everything here in the trunk. We took out the stereo system, took out the spare tire. Now let's go into and get those rear seats right out there. All right, I popped out the rear bottom seats, which is just literally 2 clips. This thing is the easiest to come out. The other ones have the bolts, but let's go ahead and see how much this weighs. If you look there, we're at basically 14 pounds for the bottom seats. All right, I got the rear upper seats finally unmounted. Let's go ahead and see how much they weigh. All right, putting the seats on the scale, let's see how much they weigh. And we're sitting at 20 pounds. All right, next thing we're gonna do is take out the passenger seat, 2 bolts in the back, 2 bolts up front, and then undo the sensors for the airbags, and then we should be good to go. Got the passenger seat out after the 4 bolts are out, and disconnect the sensors. Let's go and see how much this weighs. So the seat cannot sit on the scale without it touching the ground. So I'm gonna have to carry this and then deduct my weight from here to figure out how much that seat weighs. This seat comes out to be 52 pounds after deducting my weight holding this seat. One of the most underlooked forms of weight is the amount of fuel that you have in your car. I did some Googling. How much does 1 gallon of gas weigh? It weighs 6.1 pounds. My fuel tank carries 16 gallons. So let's go ahead and cut 10 gallons of fuel out of my car. And here are the final results. The number on the left includes me as a passenger, the driver, 3,943 for a grand total of 202 pounds lost. And then if we are just looking at the car itself, we went from 3,980 down to 3,778 pounds, which, as mentioned previously in the video, is right on par with stock Shelby GT500s. We shed off 200 pounds by removing the seats, removing the spare tire, removing the stereo system, taking out 10 gallons of fuel, and removing the passenger seat. Of course, there are additional things that you can go ahead and do, but this car is my daily driver and I do not want to go full race car. However, you can take out your door panels for probably about 20 to 40 pounds each. Of course, taking out the carpet, miscellaneous stuff like a camera, oil, fire hydrant. This is probably maybe 5 pounds. I didn't realize how much of a mess this actually was, as well as these plastic covers, door. There is a lot of things, but again, this is my daily driver and I do not want to go that far. Probably squeeze out another 50, at most 100 pounds, taking out all of the rest of the stuff. We did talk about Will's Roush Mustang, and he came in with the basically 3,600 pounds here, and he weighed it with an empty tank. He wanted the most minimal weight possible. He is gutted already, just like me. He did have the passenger seat in, but he could save himself 52 pounds if he takes this out. That is the difference between the V6 version, supercharged V6 version, and the supercharged V8 version. 200 pounds, that is quite a lot. I'm super happy I finally got the numbers. Now I can get a little bit more analytical with the horsepower numbers and get better at predicting how my car is going to perform without it actually performing. As mentioned previously, there are many ways I could go about making this car a lot lighter, but this is not a full-out blown race car, to which kind of needs some type of drivability and some pleasure when it comes to driving this thing. Because once when you start taking off all the insulation, all the unnecessary stuff, it can get kind of tedious with the full process. But 3,778 pounds from the original, which compared to stock is not that big of a difference. It's only about close to 100 pounds from stock, but you do have to take into consideration this car also has double the horsepower that originally came. Huge difference with that. Comment down below if you have any other weight reduction tips for our viewers. Spread the knowledge down there. Will I be making the car lighter? Who knows? We'll just have to see. I really was just very curious on how much my car weighed, as well as share with you the importance of power to weight and how much it makes it quicker. I do need to go ahead and check to see the power difference. I will show you guys in the next video doing full throttle pulls from the difference from when I had 4,000 pounds compared to 3,780. Stay tuned for that. Make sure to like the video, subscribe down below, and I appreciate you stopping by and watching the video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.